Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings from Manchester United's 1-1 draw with Southampton at St Mary's. So David De Gea, going to give him a 6 out of 10. Made good saves to deny Adam Armstrong and James Ward-Prowse from that free kick. Apart from that, didn't really have much to do. Couldn't do all about Fred's own goal. Che Adams struck it and it got a deflection off Fred. De Gea is obviously staying at Manchester United for this season, because earlier on in the summer he said that De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place. And he said De Gea was determined to fight for his future. De Gea has been at Manchester United since the Ferguson era. He's endured 10 years at the club, so he's been a long servant. This season is his 11th season at Man United. I still rate De Gea, despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world because he's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for Manchester United in all competitions. De Gea has like 2 years left on his contract and he's on £375,000 a week. If we were to sell De Gea in January or next summer, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pounds. I reckon when De Gea leaves Manchester United, he'll go back to Spain. The reasons is because he was born in Spain, his relatives are from Spain, his girlfriend's from Spain, began his footballing career in Spain, and back in 2015 he was very close to joining Real Madrid, but due to a fax machine his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise. Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a poor game. His passing was poor. Didn't show much attacking intent. I said to you, didn't I, that there's still aspects of Wan-Bissaka's game that's got to improve. He's got to get forward more. Maybe his crossing's got to improve. Defensively, he's always been superb. We got Bissaka in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. This is Wan-Bissaka's third full season at Man United, but I've got to make an admission, he is one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Victor Lindelof, pretty average performance, so I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Lindelof didn't really do much wrong, to be honest with you. Like I've said to you before, I've got my strong reservations about Victor Lindelof. He's always been a static centre-half. He's too predictable and he makes too many mistakes. But Lindelof can enjoy his good games. We got Lindelof in a deal worth 31 million from Benfica back in 2017. Lindelof could possibly leave Manchester United, in January or next summer. Harry Maguire, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Pretty poor game. Looked off the pace. Gave the ball away. And he looked exposed. Maguire has had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. It was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We overpaid for Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth 80 million from Leicester. So he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Luke Shaw, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a good game. I thought he got forward very well. Got into some good positions, put some good crosses into the box and created some chances. Luke Shaw obviously reunited with Southampton yesterday. I'm expecting Luke Shaw to enjoy a good season. Luke Shaw was very good last season. Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while. And he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. I reckon he's had a good career at Man United, Luke Shaw, despite the injuries he has sustained before. Shaw's been at Man United for like 7 years now, so he's been a long-serving player. Fred, he's going to get a 3 out of 10. He was awful. Very poor on the ball. Obviously Southampton's goal got deflected off him. Made so many errors in the game. And like I've said before, Fred is not good enough to represent Man United. I think we need to offload him. Fred can have his good games. We overpaid for Fred. We got him in a deal worth £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. We brought Fred in under the Jose Mourinho era. Matic, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a very poor game. He was very, very static, was Matic. Wasn't good on the ball either, I thought his decision making was quite poor as well. And I said Matic is another player that Manchester United need to offload. But Matic will be staying at Man United for this season. We got Matic in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. So Matic has been with us now for a good 4 years or so. And we made a mistake giving Matic that new 3-year contract, was it, before the start of last season. Bruno Fernandez, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Pretty average performance. Obviously played a part in Mason Greenwood's equaliser, and Bruno Fernandez actually had a good chance in the game that produced a good save from the Southampton goalkeeper. Apart from that, didn't really do much. Bruno Fernandez was fantastic against Leeds on the opening day, because Bruno Fernandez got his first Manchester United hat-trick. And I said there's been a few games where Bruno Fernandez has looked off the pace, but analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been very consistent. Fernandez is our best player, and he's probably the best signing we've made since Ferguson retired. Bruno Fernandez does not want to leave the club. He's happy to stay at Old Trafford as contract talks go on. Bruno Fernandez, his new deal could see him get between £250,000 to £300,000 a week. Fernandez is on £100,000 a week at the moment. And Fernandez is under contract with Man United until 2025. Last season, Bruno Fernandez won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandez from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Fernandez has been at Man United now over a year and a half. Mason Greenwood, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a good game. Had plenty of shots. Also got our equalising goal. Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. But at one point he did go a while without scoring a goal. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season, Mason Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. He deserved the new contract, reflecting on his good performances. Greenwood also played very well against Leeds on the opening day, because he scored in that one. Should have had a couple of other goals because he had 2 early chances in the game against Leeds. One came from a mistake against Leeds. Greenwood has a long-term future at Man United, I can assure that. Paul Pogba, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought Pogba was our best player. He played a part in the Greenwood equaliser. It was a lovely 1-2 between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandez. Pogba got the assist for Greenwood's equaliser. That's Paul Pogba's 5th assist already this season, because Paul Pogba got 4 assists against Leeds. Should have got his name on the score sheet against Leeds. Yesterday, Paul Pogba hit the crossbar. Then it rebounded to Martial, and then Martial's effort got cleared off the line by Silisu. Now, before the game against Southampton, Solskjaer obviously spoke about Paul Pogba. He said that talks are ongoing with Pogba's representatives to persuade Pogba to sign a new contract. Solskjaer said he's not worried about Paul Pogba's contract situation. Man United recently gave an update on Paul Pogba's future. Solskjaer expects Paul Pogba to stay when the transfer window closes at the end of the month. The Athletic recently said that Man United are set to make Pogba the highest paid player at the club with a new 5-year contract worth £400,000 a week. Solskjaer is confident that we will extend Paul Pogba's contract, but Pogba is set to not sign a new deal this year, but Pogba has refused to rule out a new deal. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Sky Sports did say that Pogba was increasingly unlikely to sign a new Man United contract. Sky Sports said before the start of the season that Pogba sees a long-term future at Man United but may wait on the contract extension. And before the start of the season, Solskjaer revealed that he had positive talks with Pogba over his future, and it said that Pogba was in no hurry to sort out his future. And the Telegraph did say that Pogba would start the season with Man United, then he'd make a decision about his future before the 31st of August. Pogba's contract expires next summer. Sky Sports did recently say that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a 3 next summer when his contract expires, and he said he's set to join PSG on a 3. PSG are pushing to sign Pogba next summer, and PSG are prepared to offer Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. PSG getting Pogba in this summer transfer window hit a stumbling block as PSG got Lionel Messi. PSG have put quite a lot of players on the transfer list. Back in July, it said that PSG were interested in Pogba. It mentioned that PSG were the favourites to sign him, and PSG held talks with Pogba's representatives, and it said PSG were willing to offer £45 million. Before Messi to PSG was official, Pochettino got quizzed on Paul Pogba's transfer from Man United again, and he actually played down PSG's interest in Pogba. But I want us to keep Pogba because, he's had a good start to this season. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. This is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Pogba's our most expensive sign at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. Pogba yesterday was playing on the left-hand side, so he was in more of an advanced role. I think he's more effective in more of an advanced role, if I'm going to be honest with you. Some United fans may disagree with me, but he has produced good performances when he's played. In a defensive role or a box-to-box role. Martial, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Thought he was very quiet in the game. Like I said, he had that effort that was cleared off the line. I want Man United to offload Anthony Martial. Don't think we're going to this season though, because the Telegraph said before the start of the season that Man United have got no intentions of selling Anthony Martial. He remains part of Solskjaer's plans for this season. But before that, the Sun came out and said that Man United were ready to sell Anthony Martial but wanted at least £50 million. It mentioned that Inter Milan were interested in him. They wanted him to replace Lukaku because Lukaku is obviously now back at Chelsea. He said would have been happy to loan Anthony Martial out as long as Inter Milan agreed to include an obligation to buy in the deal. Everton were also keen. Martial's had 2 good seasons at Man United. He was good the season before last, and he was good in his debut season under Van Gaal. Martial's got 3 years left on his contract, and he receives £200,000 a week. He's been with us 6 years. Martial scored 78 goals for Man United in all competitions. We got him in a deal worth 58 million, and we paid £36 million up front. Brought substitutions on in the game, didn't we? Obviously we saw Jadon Sancho come on. A lot of United fans criticised Solskjaer for not starting Jadon Sancho. I was very surprised that he didn't start. But anyway, I'll give Sancho 6 out of 10. I do think Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him right. We also saw Jesse Lingard come on in the game. Just give him a 6 out of 10. And McTominay came on in the game, and I'll give him a 6 out of 10. So that is your player ratings from our 1-1 draw against Southampton. So we have taken 4 points from our opening 2 league games. Solskjaer gave his perception on the game. He said the players lost their heads in the draw with Southampton. Solskjaer also criticised Fred. And Solskjaer also said that Southampton's goal was a foul, because Bruno Fernandez got fouled by Jack Stevens in the build-up to Southampton's goal. Man United have equalled Arsenal's record, by the way. We are still unbeaten away from home in the Premier League since January 2020. Solskjaer has questions to answer. Why didn't he start Sancho, and why didn't he start Raphael Varane? You know, Raphael Varane played no part yesterday. And I told you, didn't I, one of my biggest concerns about Solskjaer is his decision making, because analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been tactically naive. There has been some games though where he showed tactical flexibility. I thought in the opening game against Leeds he got it right. But I was very, very disappointed with the result yesterday. And it wasn't really a good performance by Man United either. Southampton would have been very delighted with the draw. I thought Southampton had the better chances than us. Southampton lost their opening game against Everton 3-1. But I think Southampton are going to struggle this season because they have lost key players. They lost Danny Ings to Aston Villa in the summer. They also lost Bertrand to Leicester. They lost Vestergaard to Leicester. They lost a lot of other good players as well. Southampton lost Charlie Austin. They lost Cedric Soares. They lost Holberg. They lost Luke Shaw to us back in 2014. They've lost players like Klein, Lovren, Lallana, Mane, Virgil van Dijk. So there you go. Liverpool have done very, very good business with Southampton. Southampton did make a few signings in the summer though. Obviously they brought Adam Armstrong in from Blackburn. Like I said, he nearly scored yesterday. They also brought that Valentino Livramento in him. He played yesterday. They also brought Armando Broja in and Roman Paradin. They brought him in and he played yesterday. So they're the signings they made. Southampton have obviously got Theo Walcott back because last season he was with Everton. They did have Mina Mimo on loan, but now he's gone back to Liverpool. We beat Southampton at St Mary's last season 3-2. You know, we overcame a 2-goal deficit. But we're beating them 9-0 at Old Trafford last season. That was the first time we'd scored 9 goals since the 9-0 win against Ipswich back in 1995. But Solskjaer did mention that 9-0 was a one-off. Southampton's manager is Ralph Hasenhüttl. And you've got to give him credit because he has transformed Southampton. He's got a contract with Southampton until 2024. Southampton were very, very consistent when they had Pochettino. Pochettino actually guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League, which was 8th. Our next game is Wolves at Molineux, and that's a game Manchester United need to win. On my next video, I will be giving you an update on some more transfer news. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.